In this video, I'm going to show you another approach on how you can use DAX table to create a calendar in Power BI. In your model, to create a calendar table, we can use DAX table to also create calendar table. To do that, I'm going to go to my modeling tab and click on new table. I'm going to call this table calendar table. Calendar table. Alright, I'm going to use a measure called add columns so that I can add all the different columns that I want. But before I do that, let me show you a measure or a function in DAX that generates random dates. If I type calendar auto or you type calendar, there's a function called calendar table, calculated table, calendar, and calendar auto. Calendar auto returns a table with one column of dates calculated from the model automatically. So if I supply that, I'm basically going to put like my close bracket. I don't want to supply the fiscal here, one. I'm going to click enter. Let's head over to my table view and see how that looks. Now, in my table view, you can see that the calendar auto has generated random dates from 2014 to probably, I think, 2016. So this calendar auto, I've been able to look at my data set and guess that I have 2014 is my latest date that I have up to 2016. Now, what if in a case where I don't want to stop in 2016, but I want my data to be updated to the recent year? To do that, prefer to use calendar instead of calendar auto. All right, so because when you use calendar, you can easily specify the date, the start date, and the end date. So now to continue the measure, I'm going to use add column instead, so that I don't write just the date. I can include some other column. So I'm going to come to the back here and add column as the measure. So I'm going to supply the table as the date. So the expression name that I'm going to add first is the date ID. So to create a date ID, I'm going to put it in quotes, date ID in quote, comma, and I'm going to use a measure called value. Then inside value, I'm going to put format right there, and I want to format date, which is the date of my calendar table. All right, so the date is right here. Then I'm going to put the format that I want for my date. So I'm going to put it in quotes. The format is I want the year, and I want the month, and I want the day. And I'm going to put another quote here. I'm going to put another quote here like this. I'm going to close my bracket for format, and my bracket for value, and close the bracket for add column. And let's see what this is going to generate. So it has added a column called date ID. So to add more other column, I'm going to come to here and put another comma. Then go to name 2 and added another expression, which is here. Put comma. I'm also going to use a formula called year to bring in the year. And I'll put it, scroll and put date in here. All right, and close the bracket for year. I'm going to put comma and write another expression. This time around, I'm going to write month number. Month number. I'm going to put comma. I'm going to use a measure called month, and I'm going to put date in here. Close the bracket for month, comma. I'm going to put another column here, and I'm going to call this column quarter. In quote again, put a comma, and I'm going to use a function called quarter, and I'm going to put date in here. Close my bracket. I'm going to put comma again and start another column. This column I'm going to call it probably I should create a year month column. I'm going to put a comma and use a format calculation to create that. So I'm going to put date in there, and my format is going to be y close by quotes and close my bracket. To add week, I think I should add week. going to add another column. I'm going to call that week, and then I'm going to use a measure called weekday. And in weekday, I'm going to select date as my date, and the return type, I'm going to pick 2, right? I'm going to pick 2, which I assume that I want to start my week from Monday. If you are starting your week from Sunday, you should probably pick 1, right? So when you click on it, you can read more about 2. Monday is equals to 1, 2, and Sunday is equals to 7. So picking 2, and I'm going to close my bracket for uh, add column, and I'm going to hit enter. Right now, you can see that my calendar table has generated date, it has generated date ID, it has generated year, month, quarter, year, month, week, and I can keep adding some